Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And this is the Eleglide Mopride, or maybe Mopride. Is it Mopride? To be precise, it's the Mopride 3. This is an e-bike, I guess an e-mountain bike. Let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. Now first up, huge thanks to Eleglide for sending me this bike for reviewing purposes and testing it out. I've put over 100 kilometers on this bike. I did a range test on it. And if you want to get a bike like this, use my affiliate link below if you also want to support the channel. Now this bike costs just 900 euros. So how much can you expect from that? And to me, as I review a lot of exciting stuff, this is as exciting as filling up my vacuum with dust. It just does the job. All right, but 900 euro, what do you get electronically for that price? Well, you do get a battery, that's for sure. And it also slides out nicely to the side, which is a good touch. But I had to tighten this out of the box. This wasn't tight. Also has a battery indicator here. Probably you can't see it in the sun. It's a 570 watt-hour unit. And I got a pretty substantial amount of range on it. Over 70 kilometers, which is a lot for this kind of bike. When it comes to the motor, 250 watts here in the back, very usual hub motor, pretty good for your chain, not a lot of stress on the chain. And sadly no torque sensor, just the cadence sensor, which works, I wouldn't say the best, I'll tell about that a bit later. But here next to the chain we can see the battery pins, a lot of pins, but no isolation, sadly. So go into rain at your own risk. I hope that it will be covered with warranty, but probably it's not. I don't know how they treat their customers with water damage. All right, so let's start with the handlebar. What can we see here? We can see a pretty dim display, but it's still very readable in broad daylight. 5 modes, and they are speed dependent, which I don't like. I prefer if they're power dependent, because I just always like to ride 25 kilometers an hour, but I can have more strain or less. Here we have the battery indicator, a little bit too small for my taste, and there's no voltage readout. I prefer a voltage readout here just to see how dead or full my battery is. We have hydraulic brakes, which is very nice for that price, but they don't feel that strong. The more I ride it, the more I like it. Maybe it's the 29-inch tires, maybe it's heavy tires, maybe it's a big wheel. The bike does brake pretty well, but just not as well as I expected hydraulic brakes to brake. So you can see there is no throttle here. We have an external plug here, which probably is for the throttle. I didn't mount it. Illegal in Poland, in the land of the Poles. We have a 7-speed Shimano tourney group set. Very cheap group set. That's something that I'm really used to when it comes to those cheap Chinese e-bikes. It does work well. It's not a huge range of gears. I usually just top out at the 5th one just to ride around the city. And the first gear for going up these slopes is a little bit, it's a bit too heavy. This looks like a mountain bike, but doesn't really like mountains, if that makes sense. Just like the difficult sort of steep inclines. But in any case, for most stuff, it should be fine. Nevertheless, let me show you how the cadence sensor here works. And what I found to be happening here is that just the start to ride on a bike, now it engages. And sometimes it has also like a second click afterwards. So let's do a longer turn. Or a small jitter later as well. The cadence sensor, it's just very hard to start with the bike. When you have a torque sensor, as soon as you apply pressure to the pedals, it starts going, even with a hub motor. Here it doesn't work so well from the get-go, but once you get rolling and it starts spinning, then it reacts really quickly. So once you get up to speed, it's pretty good. Just starting from the get-go, which sort of is something that you would want to do on a mountain bike, going up a hill, is difficult to do. So yeah, something to note. Now this bike is not full suspension, it is front suspension, so it's a hardtail, and the fork is just sort of on-off, and it doesn't work all that well. even though you have a knob here. Oh, it does work again. It wasn't working before. You can lock it out. It's just cheap. It's I thought this bike would be more comfortable with this fork, but it just helps a little bit. It doesn't help a lot. And then if you look at the frame, I guess that's where they save a lot of money. The frame rigidity here is like, it's almost like a folding bike. So that's what I don't like so much about those Chinese e-bikes, especially on the cheaper end. They just feel so wobbly. Like you take a turn and it just like, it does a lot of things. Not the sturdiest bike for sure. Already had a workout today. Oh, okay, I can do it. This bike just comes in one size, 29-inch tires, and it's huge. I'm 1.80 meters tall, measured yesterday, so it's actually true. And like, it's pretty substantial for me. So if you're a taller rider, you'll be fine on it. But if you're a smaller rider, not so much. I just wonder, like, why does this company not offer this bike in various frame sizes? So Serge is 1.70 meters. I guess it would work. It's just a big boy. Yeah, try. Try. It will be hard to start though, very, very hard. Yeah, that's the lack of a torque sensor, bro. I think you have to go down to go up. When it comes to the tires, we have those very, very thick and huge 29ers here, front and back. Those tires are very grippy. Well, when it comes to off-road riding, not very grippy in the city. But when I was going onto some sort of gravel rides, when I was going off-road, especially going through like some mild sand, grassy, rooty terrain. And here you can see is actually the controller inside. This is a typical sort of conversion bike. They just mounted the battery, but actually maybe it's not just a conversion bike because this is housed pretty neatly here into the frame. Maybe it's not. I take my words back. And when it comes to the pedals, I mounted aftermarket pedals. These are from Rock Bros. If you want to get some, I have a link in the description. My bike actually came without pedals. I don't believe that is how it should come, but mine came without pedals. It also came with a broken shifter. They sent me a repaired shifter for free. And it also came with those scuffs here out of the box. So there were a couple things I needed to fix out of the box, but if you get yours, just let them know if something's missing, or for example the taillight, don't have a taillight either, this is my light, then Eleglide will provide it to you. When it comes to front light, we have a front light. Just turn it on by pressing the plus button on the display, and it works, which is pretty cool. The cranks, by the way, super thin. They don't look like they can survive a lot, but I guess for city use, they'll be fine. As I am a kickstand aficionado, I have to talk about the kickstand. Not into the flowers, you maniac. It's a good kickstand. Sounds nice. I like it. Good kickstand. Forgot about the seat. The seat is very, very plush. It's almost like too plush. My booty feels a bit too much sort of stress when I like cycle on this bike. I even tried it with my cycling bibs that have like the gel inserts, and my booty still didn't like that seat. For some reason, we don't like each other. All right, so let's conclude this bike. I know I commented a lot about the stuff here, but you have to keep in mind that the price is very low. And if it were for me, and if I would want to just go somewhere into the mountains and have fun, I would probably just buy a regular analog bike with better components. If you're not like able to ride a usual bike, or if you don't want to have the strain, then you can think about this. Mainly where this bike shines is just like an all-rounder in the city, basically. It has plenty of range. It's not the sturdiest frame. It does have very good brakes, but it just sort of does it all well at a sort of acceptable price. I like the color of it. It looks pretty, fancy. When people saw me riding down the street or just putting it somewhere, they were like, oh, that's a shiny bike, just be careful so it doesn't get stolen. Because I know the cable routing is here on the inside. I guess the pedals fit now with the color a little bit. But with that said, for now 900 euro, this does the job. And as sort of most of my e-bike reviews, I can just give it a meh. So if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video.